So if anyone's got any suggestions for future agenda items on this subject.
I think the private sector stuff, which I've already discussed, as wide a team as well, you could do, just as wide a team as possible, and it might whichever teams are currently doing it, get them all here.
Could maybe look at also opportunities for working with other boroughs, seeing as they want to do the benchmarking exercise. I mean, there's all kinds of potential for, joint procurement of services and saving money.
I think just as a follow-up from that, it'd be interesting to see if they do take the voids work out to tender, and how the kind of prices they get back, whether we were competitive or we weren't. I think that'd be interesting to know. And I think we haven't really talked about it much here, but looking at voids in the context of the new housing and planning bill, and I know some charities like Shelter have said, councils might be incentivised to do anything to make sure that a void isn't a void, including overcrowding and having poor conditions. And are we sure that Southwark's void system, doesn't do that, and our housing officers are not acting to incentivise that kind of stuff?
One thing that jumped out at me while we were looking at this was, everything we've seen on that bill talks about voids, but actually, huge numbers of our voids are major voids, and they are as a result of us trying to improve property. So I'd like to know more about whether because current understanding of the bill, I think, is that they are going to create, so they will look at the number of voids they think we might have and bill us for that amount rather than counting actual voids that come in. And the idea is that allows us to sell or not sell and find the money elsewhere if we want to. So I'd like to know where they're coming out with those figures and if they include major voids, because if so, that means we're being punished for refurb and regeneration.
And especially because they're talking about the most expensive voids, but the most expensive voids are the bigger ones. It's the very small number of large bedroom properties that we have for big families. We need those for the small number of big families we need to house. That's why they're expensive. 4 or 5 pence.
And I think if I can on that, I think it would be helpful to have a kind of a sort of, if you could take a kind of what was the sort of roughly market value of some of these voids, because from the first figures that came out, which I think were in a Conservative Party publication, they were talking about figures in London which would cover most of our properties in the north of the borough. Any two-bedroom, kind of 400,000 is probably any two-bedroom property in the north of the borough now. So in your world, so that kind of comparator as well, because if they think that we're selling loads of high value.
We're not Kensington and Chelsea.
So we've got a few things there to look at. We don't have much time in the next meeting, so we've got 2 fairly major items, but I suspect we've got a March meeting, Fitz?
Yes, we have.
So in the March meeting, I think we'll try and slot some of this in with a view to...
That's an open agenda so far.
Yeah, that's the one we've been saving, isn't it? So there's plenty of time that evening to delve into some of these issues. Okay, so I've made a note of some of the things we'd like to see, and Fitz and I will circulate some ideas on who to invite for that meeting. Okay, I think we'll have a 5-minute